Welcome to All Things Social Security. My name is Stephanie Joy of Joy Disability. I am a Social Security disability attorney, and I would like to invite you to watch our daily video tips on the Social Security disability and SSI claims process each day at the new time of noon Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube on this channel. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A live stream. So you are welcome to join that as well. Ask your questions, get there on time, and you'll be one of the first answered. Thanks so much and have a great day. Enjoy the video. Hello, happy Sunday. It's time for the Social Security Roundup for the week of, this is just last week, right? The 22nd, which was Monday, to the 27th yesterday. So on Monday, it was actually a video clip from a collaboration I did with my friend and colleague, Jonathan Ginsberg. And we go over a particular situation that someone asked about, which included, I guess, really bad varicose veins, 50 years old, and the issues with, what might be needed with regard to the RFC and potentially meeting a grid and kind of like the challenges and goals, objectives that one might want to pursue to get that to happen. We have on the next day, Tuesday, this was a little ditty about earning back credits so that you have sufficient credits in your 10-year rear view window from any particular day so that you are insured for Social Security disability. Yeah, because as you know, guys, it's term insurance. So it's a little touch on that. I think someone was asking about it. So when you're disabled, but you haven't proven it yet, how sometimes it might be important to do sufficient part-time work, very part-time work though, to get back those credits so you can file. The next day, which was the 24th, this was a little share about whether it was an SSD or an SSI claim. Does the DDS overestimate claimants' RFCs? And we go into that a little bit. The 25th that was Wednesday, what we just did, right? The 24th. We also had our 1 p.m. live stream Q&A, which is completely separate from these 12 o'clock shares that come out daily. So that was a fun day. The next day, Thursday, the 25th, it was addressing the question of whether one should send photos or video to the DDS or the SSA to help prove a particular assertion or description or severity or something of that nature. And I go into my personal opinion on that, my professional opinion on that. Then Friday, of course, was the fraud law review. I actually had the wrong title hooked up to this one, but I got it fixed. Thanks to my nice friend who emailed me and said, you got it mismatched the title and the thumbnail, I guess. Anyways, the Friday fraud law review was a little different this week because it wasn't about a particular prosecution, which they generally are. The OIG in this particular instance was reporting about huge epic fails by the SSA in years prior, like 23, 24, where they were not following protocols to prevent fraudulent call-ins to change direct deposit and divert people's funds away from them. It was pretty fascinating. But obviously that was one of the reasons why they've changed it, where you don't do it over the phone like that. But it was interesting because they're really talking about their own failure. Granted, it was different people running the show when the failure was going on, but nonetheless, it's the SSA. That was Friday. And Saturday, we had the replay of the Wednesday live Q&A session because it didn't get out by Thursday. I had a crazy week running around wearing many different hats to respond to an emergency situation that was going on a week. Not my immediate family, but a friend who needed help really bad. So it kind of took me out of a lot of it. I'm trying to catch up this weekend. So hopefully I will succeed in getting everything back in order. Okay, so that was it through the 27th, Saturday. And I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you're having a great weekend. And I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope everyone has some peace and a meaningful day and week ahead. Thanks for visiting. I appreciate it. Bye, guys. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security Roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Happy Sunday. Let's get into Sunday's Social Security Roundup for this past week. It was a interesting week traveling back and forth and such. So this would be September 15th to September 20th of 2025. Can you believe the year is heading towards its ending? We're already in September. Okay, so Monday we had the replay of the Q&A from the week before, that Wednesday, because YouTube was really, really slow on the processing. It took days. So while I thought it was going to be even out Saturday, and I thought it was, and I thought it was posted, it was not till Monday. And, we went through all the Q&As with people that joined us, as many do Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and hope you can join next time. It will be this Wednesday as well. So that was the replay. And the replay, as you know, has all of the silent parts where I'm reading something, trying to maybe kind of get to the person's next post because it was a two-parter, yada yada. So that was a fun day. On Tuesday, the 16th, we talked about, it was a question specifically by a viewer. It was about collecting SSDI as a 70-year-old if you become what you consider disabled because you weren't before, you were just, aging. So we go into a little bit of that and things to watch out for as you age into your 60s. On the 17th, we had a little ditty about whether the function report is a waste of time or is it something you should take seriously when you do it. And this is a collaboration between me and Jonathan Ginsburg back when I was on his show the other week. That must have been Wednesday. Thursday was the replay of, so this is Thursday the 18th, was the replay of the Q&A from the Wednesday the 17th, because in addition to a daily at noon, we also have our live stream at 1 p.m. on Wednesdays. So that came out. Interestingly, YouTube was able to process it in a timely manner. I have no idea why some weeks they have no problem, and other times it's an issue. Then we have the following day. What do we have the following day? Friday fraud law review. This was a New Jersey guy, my old stomping ground, who had been stealing Social Security and I think another program's funds from his deceased father for almost 20 years. And it was just yet one more example of how when we were told, no, 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 just because 150-year-olds are on the right, Social Security numbers are showing active, no one's actually collecting on those. Well, obviously that was incorrect. So don't know the time frame when they were investigating and prosecuting, but I guess they've been going on and I guess they're going to keep going on, which is a good thing. That was the 19th, right? Saturday the 20th, last day of the week. This was about when, as a claimant, you may have inconsistent statements that don't jive with what is stated in your medical records. Sometimes it can be overt and not just not supported. It's something that, if pro se or not, it's something you're really going to want to pay attention to. It's never, as a pro se person, or even as a not pro se person, like hopefully you do follow up with your doctors and know what they're talking about. It's not like, and I think someone had asked, if you have a representative, are they going to go through line by line with you, your medical records, so you can say, gee, I remember 2 years ago and I didn't say that, or I said this on that day and they don't have it recorded. That's not going to happen. But you need to be a little cognizant yourself. They can do the legal, but they can't be controlling how you behave, things you say to your providers. So you, I think, separately would like to be reviewing your portal records and see what your doctors have to say about you in your records. So nobody else can really do that for you. But the implications in a case later can be, and over the course of time, as a case is developed and absorbed, and it's always changing, right? Because you're always getting new treatment and new stuff coming in. A lot of times we do catch things. Nothing is surefire, being human, and then when we go through such things, we do try to go through them with an eye towards hearing, meaning the hearing, so that you know that it could be an issue that is brought up at hearing by a judge, and you will have your thoughts and your wits about you to explain coherently what the situation was. ideally you're doing that ahead of time. You're just being responsible for your housekeeping when it comes to you and your doctors. All right, that was Saturday. And hope you all had a great week. Hope you had a great weekend. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope it is peaceful and meaningful, and we all can make the best of it, regardless of where we're at today. Okay? Thanks so much, guys. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as I can live on Wednesday. But otherwise, thanks for paying attention to the daily shares. And if there's any that you think would be helpful for the public at large, even if it's specific to your concerns at any given time, definitely feel free to share them because I am happy to give a little review to see if that would be something we could put up on video. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.